I am so glad I finally got homemade face powder made again. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kim, and I just ran out of my store-bought face powder. So I decided it's time to make homemade. I've made homemade before in the past. It's been a year or two since I have, and then I got, you get a little lazy and think, oh, I'll just buy some at the store and use that. I'll make some again later, and then 2 years later goes by and you haven't made any again. So it's time I go back to the natural. I'm trying really hard this year to do things all natural. I've switched to homemade shampoo bars instead of the store-bought shampoo, which is just loaded with terrible chemicals. Of course, most things you buy at the store are loaded with terrible chemicals that we shouldn't be using or ingesting or on our bodies or any of that. So anyway, I'm trying to get to a more natural beauty product. So today I'm going to be making homemade face powder. All you need is the base for it is either cornstarch or arrowroot powder. Now I would probably use arrowroot powder if I had some. I am out right now, so I'm going to use cornstarch. And you just there are recipes online, a lot of them, but I'm going to just kind of wing it today. Yeah, I'm terrible about following recipes. And this is, I know last time I did it, I just kind of winged it too, and it worked out fine. So you just put a little bit of cornstarch. That's probably too much. Actually, I don't want to make too much at a time because you don't want it to, I think it would go bad after a while since it is all natural ingredients. You just want to make a little bit at a time. Then you use whatever spices you want to match your skin tone. I'm a very light skin tone. So what you use is like cocoa powder, cinnamon, nutmeg, and these can be mixed together to make about any skin tone you need. I personally will use very little cocoa powder because I am so pale. And then a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg because, granted, white's a little too white for me, but I do need a little color, but I don't need too much in there. I've always been very pale skinned, even when I tan in the summer. For most people, still think I'm very pale. So you just add in a little bit and you just mix it up until you come up with what this tone that you have. And if you get it a little too dark, you can always add more cornstarch. My spices and stuff in these little jars, I think it looks so much cuter in my cupboard, a little more organized. I love to be really organized and everything look neat and tidy. And then somehow I am always unorganized, though. I don't know how that works. I'm like the most organized person there is. Not quite dark enough. So, see, like I said, I don't know how much you should add. You should just do a little bit at a time. I know probably shouldn't put too much more cocoa powder in there because I know I don't want it too dark. But if you have a darker skin tone, you would want a lot of cocoa powder and maybe a little bit of other. And see, I probably started with way too much cornstarch. I am making a mess. Can't do anything without making a mess. I've said that a few times before. Worked out good. And a bonus of making this homemade like this, smells delicious. Who needs perfume or anything like that when you can just put spices on your face? But don't worry, it's not overpowering. But it does smell really good. Not sure how well you can see that, but it's definitely darker than what it was. All right, I'm gonna probably, I don't know. I'll add a little more cinnamon to it. Like I say, I don't want it too dark, but you want it to be close to your skin tone too. So then what you use is a brush like this to put it on, and you just dip it in a little bit. Now here's the part where homemade is not quite as good as store-bought. This is going to be messier. So when you do it and when you do put it on, you should do it like over a sink in your bathroom so that what falls off can go into the sink and you're not making a mess all over your clothes. So that's a helpful tip. But other than that, it covers very well. It acts just like the store-bought. I have never had a problem with it coming off too much. I really enjoy this. It's just taken the few minutes of time to make it, which doesn't take long at all. I don't know about all of you, but I tend to have this whole list of things I want to do, like make homemade face powder, but I think, oh, it's going to take too long. But then when I get to actually doing it, it doesn't take long at all. So I don't know why I procrastinate on things. All right, I think that's going to be pretty good with my skin tone. So then I'm just going to put the lid on and store it in a cool, dry place, or my bathroom, even though that's not a cool, dry place, but it should probably be stored somewhere else, but that's where I'm going to store it. And like I say, you don't want to make too much because this is going to go a long way. That's all there is to it, friends. I am so glad I finally got homemade face powder made again, and I don't have to worry about buying that more expensive chemical-filled store-bought makeup. So the one thing that I have not been able to find homemade that I've heard works at all is mascara. If any of you have heard of any good recipes for homemade mascara, from what I've heard, they don't work as well as the store-bought. So that's the one thing, one little holdout for makeup wise, that just cannot bring myself to do the homemade natural stuff yet. So if you know of any good homemade natural brands, let me know please in the comment section below. So thanks for watching today, friends. I hope you'll like this video, subscribe, and continue to join us in this joy-filled life. Thanks. Bye.